Well, the first day of school was pretty interesting. We, of course, waiting on the school bus to come pick us up. It was a different ride because it was taking us to the opposite side of the county. So my first grade year, I attended this school, Virginia Albemarle, and my second year was when we were informed that through the integration we would be going to Greenwood School.
I rode the bus the first time, but I thought it was uncomfortable on the bus, even though there weren't as many white kids on the bus. Most of us all blacks from what I can remember. But I still think the part of riding up to the school was the part that kind of had a little anxiety because it was a new thing. And first day of school as well, and then all the stuff that, like I said, went on in the 60s with the race stuff. So it made you feel a little uncomfortable when you pull up in there, even though you knew that your parents and everybody else had fought for you to go there.
I remember there was some type of guards, I don't know whether they were policemen or just, people they had hired. And we walked to the auditorium, and that's when you found out where your classes were. So it's been a long time ago.
Well, to me, I felt like when I first walked into school that we were one of the first ones to come in here. We made a change. We had to pay the dues for other students, for my son and sons to come to this school.
And from a practical standpoint of view, why bypass Shadwell and go into Charlottesville when the school's sitting right in Shadwell? Why go another 12, 15 miles and make a round trip and you pass right by Stone Robinson and Shadwell and take you back home?
All right, school over there, why can't we go to that school, You don't go to that school, that's white school, You go to this school up here. I remember that, just thinking, why we can't go to that school,
All those people followed RA's leadership, or were co-leaders with him sometimes. Because they had to encourage each other to keep this movement. A guy named Reverend Mitchell, there were different ones, but they all formed, I would say, a coalition. And they not only were about the schools, but they staged sit-ins at places like Buddy's Restaurant, different places that you couldn't eat.
I remember some Reverend R.A. Johnson and a few more people were there standing outside the door. I remember that R.A. Johnson and Lewis's mom, Geraldine, was out there, and I think it was a Garland lady up there. They were standing out that door like, we're going to watch y'all going to school,
But it came from Reverend Johnson, to me it seems, because he was seen to be every Sunday, so he was at our house when this was going on, and he was dead serious about seeing this thing through.
Reverend Johnson and Ma, they took care of all that stuff, man, and we just went on for the ride. Whatever they say, we just go along with it.
I can remember having a teacher at Rose Hill. Her name was Mrs. Brown. And that lady drilled me on multiplication tables and everything. And she made sure I knew those multiplication tables. She made this lady, and I was always, I don't know, back in my mind, I'm thinking that Miss Brown, I must was her pet or something, because she looked out for me, And, I didn't get that when I came to Stone Robinson, but Miss Brown looked out for me. She made sure I know those and I was so proud when I got those multiplication tables,
Now I had Reverend Hall as a sixth grade teacher. And he stood out because of the way he acted and the way he taught. He taught different, but he was good at what he did. So, you could mess up, but he could run. Now, and I could run, he would catch you, and he'd have his belt out. And you know what I mean? And if you let him get close enough, he'd tap you on the back. But he was good. I had a couple teachers who, like I said, my first and second grade teacher, Miss Denmore, She had to be 100 years old. She had to be. But she was good at what she did, you know. And then I made, Leon Hawkins, who's probably been my best friend my whole life, because of that. This is why I said they kept Leon and I in the same class from 1 through 6. Now, in the other classes, you had other blacks, but like I said, they were older.
Yeah.
They should have been a grade ahead of me in Leon. But, for some reason, they got retained.
Yeah. Wow. And that's tough, because that's one of the things that we were trying to eliminate by integration.
I can remember in there stand up, Lewis and I, stand up to 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, doing homework, being drilled by our aunt and our 2 aunts, being drilled by that so we could get there. And then when we still get to school, don't get me wrong, we knew the material. But when it was graded, it wasn't written the way they wanted to be. And instead of getting maybe a B or A, we got a C or D. And that happened all the time. Because I remember the nights that we sat down there and they drilled us. I mean, actually, the deal. My Aunt Shirley and Jolene Johnson, they really drilled us on what to do in school. Remember that, Lewis? Mm-hmm. Yeah, up 12 and 1 o'clock. And poor things, I used to walk from Aunt Shirley's house home, be so tired, and when you get up, in the morning, because they drilled us, and we knew that information. But when we got to school, things had changed.
You're going to finish that homework or whatever you had to do. You got in the morning, you got that homework from last night you're supposed to do. Yeah, I got it right here. Okay, let's go. Yeah, and they prepared us. And like I said, if you come in that house and you got an F, you ain't going outside, or you're not going to play ball, or you're not going to do this until this is done. Yeah, so. And they prepared us. So.
My sister had, to me, a very heartening experience. She went through the year getting in the first grade, they give you checks and approvals and stuff. And she went through the whole year getting check marks on her reading, her math, her English, and everything. When we came around to the summer, when they mailed us our report cards, the teacher in her class, which was a young teacher, and I think it was her first year, and it was a female teacher, chose to hold her back. And so she didn't allow her to move forward. And it wasn't because of her grades, but the explanation we got was she didn't know what to do with a black child. And to me, that should have been handled a lot different. And I feel like the effects of that is still a bit heartening to my sister and to us also, because we went through the same learning experience and challenge, and this to me shouldn't have happened. But at the time, that's how it was. Some thought that blacks couldn't be educated, and in that case, this lady felt that even though she did well in her class, she didn't feel like it was right for her to move her up to her next level, and held her back. And she was the only black in her class.
And it took me years to understand that transition. It was like when I got to Albemarle High School, it was me and Ruth Chapman, a couple of others, and this lady named Miss Virginia Beard. And she said, "You Negroes, come on in and get it." I said, "Who?" She said, "You Negroes." So we went up to the guys. What's going on? She said, "Back in that call us Negroes." And she came right on up to the, just as a matter of fact, she said, "Hey, I've always called y'all Negroes. I've never called you nothing else." My grandfather had slaves, and you people have been known as Negroes to me in the 70s. Of course, we didn't see that. We activists, but in their vernacular, they didn't want to change. They didn't see the reason to change, the need to change.
This one teacher, I guess I shouldn't call names, but she mentioned to me, Louis, you seem like you're a bright kid. I need for you to, when I say bright kids, I mean, you seem like you're a bright black kid. And can I get you to help me to tutor some of these other black kids, because I don't know how to teach black kids. So my question to her was, you ought to teach, aren't you? So she thought that was being kind of sassy, so I agreed to help this particular lady, and I used to get A's and B's, some C's, and I did this for the first 3 quarters of the year. And so I was in the 4th grade, but when I got the last report card, I think it was like 9 weeks grading period. But when I got the last report card, I got it by mail, straight S. Where it came from, I don't know. And there was a big old letter in there, retained to the 4th grade, which made absolutely no sense to me. And I told my mother, I said, no, I'm not gonna stay in the 4th grade. If I had to stay in the 4th grade and can't go to the 5th, I'm not going to school. And she was saying, well, we got the schools integrated, we have to deal with it, we have to take one step at a time. And back during that time, you couldn't question your parents, so I had to deal with what I dealt with.
At Rose Hill, I was a safety monitor. Man, I had friends up the wazoo. I was, happy. Everybody was, I engaged. I was never a guy that had everybody chomping at me, but I had a pretty good group of friends that spoke in Hi Nathaniel and always. And when I got here, it was different. I guess in a word, you would almost say it was lonely or isolated. Like I said, 1 or 2. Mostly the blacks like Ruth Chapman or Nella, somebody. Those are the people that they sought me out and I sought them out.
You really made friends with the friends you already had. Tried to stay in your comfort zone with them. Trying to make friends with Caucasian or white kids was basically impossible.
I still was a loner, but some of the other kids that integrated to school with me, I saw them from time to time, but I was usually alone. I mean, they were friendly, but they weren't friends.
I would talk to them and try to be nice to them, but I never put 100% faith in them, including the teachers, because I never knew what they were going to do. Particularly when I was retained in 4th grade. So and going to the 5th, finally, I didn't know how to trust people. That trust factor was gone.
November 1963, when Kennedy was assassinated. I can remember feeling so sad. It's coming back now. But there were white children who were happy that he was assassinated. Couldn't understand it. And then I realized that they didn't know that this is what their parents had told them. Kennedy was responsible for black kids coming to our school. So some of them, when they saw Kennedy get assassinated, they thought that was a good thing for the country. But not all of them. But again, I'm not gonna paint the picture that every white kid here was happy that Kennedy got assassinated, but there were pockets of them, because you could just see the little smile on their face. Kennedy got assassinated, yay, something like that.
Where you had to do your work, and it prepared me when I left there to go to other schools. I was ready.
Yeah.
I was ready to whatever I had, I could do.
I didn't go and think I was going to have any issues. again, I told you, I went in thinking that I know what I know, and I had these abilities, and I'm gonna do the work that's required of me, and hopefully that's gonna be enough. And it was.
And with our parents pushing, they wanted us to have a little bit more or something better than what they had.